Hello students.
Now we want to discuss some applications of Gauss theorem. Before that, three terms actually we have to know. First one is linear charge density, that is denoted by lambda and is equal to charge q per unit length L. Next one is surface charge density, that is denoted by sigma and is equal to charge q per unit area. Next one is volume charge density, that is denoted by rho and is equal to charge q per unit volume V. Now we will start the first application of Gauss theorem. That is, we want to find the electric field due to an infinite line of charge. See the diagram. This is the infinite line of charge that is positively charged. We want to find the electric field at a point, say the point is lying here. For that, first we are imagining one Gaussian surface. This is the imaginary Gaussian surface, the closed surface we have considered. At its two ends, we can see, as per the diagram, the direction of E and direction of area vector dA both are perpendicular to each other. Therefore, the flux E dot dA is E dA cos 90 degree is equal to 0 for the two ends. So, only flux exists for the curved surface of the Gaussian surface. So, it is equal to, see here, the vector E and vector dA both are radially outward and they are in same direction. So, the value of theta between E and dA is 0 here. So, we can say flux to the Gaussian surface is the closed integral of E vector dot dA vector is equal to closed integral of E dA as theta is equal to 0 degree. So, cos theta is 1. Now, instead of closed integral of dA, we can write the total surface area of this curved surface, that is equal to 2 pi RL from our mathematical knowledge. So, this is the total flux to the Gaussian surface. Now, from Gauss theorem, we can write that the total flux means E into 2 pi RL in this particular case is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Q also can be written as lambda into L as we have discussed previously. So, Q also can be written as lambda into L divided by this epsilon naught. So, from this expression, E is equal to lambda divided by 2 pi epsilon naught R, where R is the radius and the direction of the electric field vector is radially outward. So, we can represent it by R cap. This is the first application. Now, the second application. We want to find the electric field due to a plane sheet of charge. See the diagram. This is the plane sheet of charge. Again, we are considering the Gaussian surface to find the electric field at any point outside that sheet. We can see here from the Gaussian surface at the two ends, E and dA both are outward and they are in same direction, here and also here. So, the total flux phi E is equal to close integral of E vector dot dA vector for this part and again plus closed integral of E vector dot dA vector for this part. As both E and dA are in same direction, so again theta is equal to 0 degree. So, cos theta is equal to 1. So, it also can be written as E into A, as the area I have considered as A, and plus E into A. So, it is equal to 2EA. So, the total flux from the Gaussian surface is 2EA and as per Gauss theorem, it is equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now, Q also can be written as sigma into A as per the definition of surface charge density. So we can write it like sigma into A by epsilon naught. So from this expression, E is equal to sigma by 2 epsilon naught. This is the expression for E, final expression. The direction of E is always away from the sheet as it is positively charged. If it is negatively charged, then it should be towards the sheet in that particular case. Now the third application, that is electric field due to uniformly charged spherical shell. See the diagram. This is the spherical shell. The radius of that spherical shell is capital R. We have considered the Gaussian surface like this, and the point where first we want to find the electric field, that is at a distance small r from the center. For this spherical shell, we can see E and dA both are outward and in same direction, that is radially outward. Therefore, here also the angle between E and dA is 0 degree. So cos 0 degree is equal to 1. So closed integral of E dot dA also can be written as E dA. Now the closed integral of dA for sphere we know that is equal to 4 pi r square from our mathematical knowledge. So from Gauss theorem we can conclude the total electric flux phi E is equal to E into 4 pi r square, that should be equal to Q by epsilon naught. Now the total charge Q is equal to here total area of the sphere, that is 4 pi r square into sigma as per the definition of surface charge density. So if we replace the value of Q, then E is equal to sigma by epsilon naught capital R square divided by small r square, where capital R is the radius of the actual sphere and small r is the radius of the Gaussian surface at the point where we want to find the electric field. The direction is again outward for the positive charge and inward in case of negative charge. If the point we considered at the surface of the spherical shell, then small r and capital R equal to each other, then the expression of E becomes sigma by epsilon naught. If we take the point inside the spherical shell, then inside the Gaussian surface here, the value of electric field is obviously 0. So this is the third application of Gauss theorem. Now I have given one assignment, that is the assignment 3 from this chapter electrostatics, and this assignment is based on Gauss theorem and its applications. The discussion we have done today only. If we go through it, then you can do all the questions and the numericals easily. If any doubt you have, then you can ask in the comment section of YouTube.